them and...
I mean, I didn't realise, the first 6 months I was getting nowhere and getting no information, and I thought, I knew I got something rare, I didn't know what it was, and now what you're going to read in a minute is the letter from Jackie Gedney.
Oh, right.
Which gave me the history of the van.
Nick's restoration project, Malpass Rally 2009. I was enjoying the sun on a Saturday afternoon when a chap walked up to me and said, "Did I know anyone who wanted an old van?" When I asked him what it was, he replied it was a Wake. I thought I must have misheard what he said, as I'd never heard of it. Anyway, I took his details and said I would go, and found to my amazement that such a van was listed. Quickly looking up on page 68, I found so little information that it made me all the more curious to go and have a look and see what it was. All I knew at this point was that Van Master, Sapphire and Wake made caravan shells, and the customer then fitted them with their own interior furniture. On arrival at John's house, I thought I was looking at a Viking fibre line and nearly turned round and went home. However, something told me to have a closer look. The tyres were so flat that they were virtually off the rims and totally useless. The outside looked like a dirty fish tank, the jockey wheel disintegrated, and the hitch was obviously seized solid. On opening the door, all that could be seen was the roof, as the van was full of gardening implements, timber, and it stunk of creosote. I could not believe what I did next. I heard myself offering to pay £100 for it, and then left a deposit. I then went back to my Cheltenham home thinking, what have I bought another caravan for? Sound familiar? A month or so later I was back to change the wheels and tow this van home. John told me that the van was bought new by his dad, who fitted it out and then lived in it while he built his house. As his dad was a carpenter, this was probably quite an easy task for him to do. I've been surprised to find that he used reclaimed timber, and timber of just the right thickness and weight, therefore not making the van too heavy. Once the house was complete, it was used for a couple of years as a tourer, then it became and stayed a garden shed until I came along. With a lot of help from my local serviceman, a good upholsterer and friends, this van has now been reborn and ready for another 40 years at least, but no more being a garden shed. After 5 months of inquiring in every corner of the caravan club, no information on this van could be found, apart from the manufacturer's nameplate, C.O. Gedney, G.R.P. Mouldings, Dozens Bank, Pinchbeck, Spalding. Beware of snails. Having towed the caravan home, I thought quite successfully, I was horrified when Mark told me that when he got the van in the workshop and started to check it over, he discovered several snails had got into the solid section of the A-frame, and the residue they left behind had rotted the metal from the inside. A few good bangs with a hammer left most of the A-frame on his floor. At this point the van was nearly scrapped. A lesson to be learned perhaps. Not only did Mark repair the A-frame, but carried on and scraped and painted all the rest of the chassis. Repairs then started elsewhere. A new jockey wheel, lubrication of the hitch, brakes and bearings were as in new condition. New rear lights, gas check, fuse box fitted, 12 volt, no mains in this van, gas fire replaced, water filter and waste pipe fitted, also a TV aerial lead fitted under the van from front to back, so no aerial leads going through the windows. Posh or what? Repairs to steadies also. A few catches, a couple of 12 volt sockets, a new water pump, and the van was ready to roll. I'm very grateful to Mark, my serviceman, as I could not have done all this work myself, and more importantly, I'm very lucky to have a man that has the knowledge and love of working on older vans. The cost of all this was less than you would think, as it was done over the winter months in between other more regular work. A good tip perhaps. New upholstery was needed, as were new curtains. A friend offered to make the curtains, which I suggested would be better with a lining which would made the van warmer, as it is of course only single glazed. The upholstery had to be made by a reputable company some 50 miles away. A couple of weeks into February I went away for a night to make sure all was well. A couple of problems arose, the biggest one being that I didn't have the new foam put in the bunks. Consequently, by 3 AM I was sleeping on foam about half an inch thick. I also had omitted to have buttons put in the bunks so they creased as soon as they were sat on. However, these problems are now resolved, and the van will be out and about from early March along with its new partners, Nick and his trusty Rover P4. Keep a sharp lookout and give a toot if you see me. Today, the 1st of March, just by pure luck, I managed to get in contact with a member of the original family that made my caravan. How rare is that? I'm hoping to get more information shortly on how many were made and how long they were in production. If you know anything about these vans, please get in touch with me. Oh right, yes, because the old...
That was yellow.
Yeah.
The side of the cooker was white and starting to go rusty.
Oh, that, yes.
This is a new thing, the stainless steel sink, which only went in last week.
Oh right. Yeah, I thought...
The other one was very discoloured.
Yes, it was a...
It says in the history it should be stainless steel, so we've got one.
Oh. Yeah, because I don't know where Dad got the...
And then I've covered the...
Yeah,
the
redone that.
These.
Yes, because they were
This
peeling
fab on
back.
again, but it's a different colour because I can't get any more of that colour.
No.
But I've left this alone because if I do that dark, it's going to be too dark.
Yes. Yeah, for
But,
some reason that bit wasn't too
all
bad.
this has been, all
Yeah.
the fab lines come off the timber and
Yes.
varnished it, and this took the worst, is getting all this clean because it was all smoke damage off the fire.
Yes, yeah.
You know, the fire was worn out, the water pump was worn out, so
That was shot, yes.
that's
that
all
looks in
corroded
keeping,
away.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and they've now stopped making that, so I bought a spare one of them yesterday. I intend to keep this.
So,
just
you
up here,
yeah.
let's just turn this round for Judy. I don't know whether you can see that.
Oh.
That's a first for this year from Pickering.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then the badges turned up. By the time you got me your badge,
Yeah. Oh, you got
the new one came.
Oh my!
And then
I thought that looked too good. I thought it was
I'd
really.
also ordered
Yeah.
3 to my own design from the Caravan Club.
Yeah.
So within a week I got 6 badges.
Oh.
So yours is up there,
Amazing.
the old one.
Yeah.
That's the new one, and then mine are outside.
Right.
And then you sent me your history, and I thought,
Yeah.
well, I feel like I've won the lottery now, so I've got it from everywhere, and I know everything
Yeah.
there is to know.
Yeah.
And I'm just so amazed. And then all this information came because I met a man in Anglesey who lived at Spalding, and his neighbour had done business with the Gedneys for years, and that's how come I've got all the information from that side. So just amazing, somebody 200 miles away has brought me all the information. Nobody anywhere has ever heard of one, although they did do an article for En Route, which I got a copy of.
Oh.
So, you know, I really feel
Yeah.
this is amazing.
I haven't found it yet, but there was a clipping. One of the magazines, I know, Practical Caravanning or some such thing, had a article that was weird and wacky.
Right.
I bought one when I was looking at getting a caravan and something through it. I thought, well, so no, I just on a whim just photographed the van as it was and sent it off, and they put it in the following months or the month after's magazine. And cheekily, I hadn't suggested, but they said, "Oh, would you know, right for restoration or something?" Well, I hadn't said anything about whether I wanted to sell it or anything. It was just that, you know, here is an unusual van. But I can't find it. I took it out, took the page out, but where that's got to, I don't know.
Well, I'm so delighted with this. I've sold the other van. The other van's gone to France.
France.
So this one now is staying put, and it'll go to one show. I'll do the Rover in the Caravan, and next year I'll do the motorhome in the Caravan.
Yeah.
So, you know, like the fridge, because it's a damn sight easier to shove that under.
Oh goodness,
than
yes.
like the fridge.
Oh yeah, that was a.
It's not so bad when it's been towing, but when it's cold and the gas bottle runs out, it's a bugger to relight, and it hurts your fingers to flick
I
that.
know.
So
I know. We've.
I just throw that under and that's it. But I pulled outside, and the whole shop, all the staff out the shop came out to the car park to look at the car and caravan.
Oh dear.
And I was in the shop on my own. I could have run away with everything.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing. But yeah, it's great.
It reminds me of a
Lovely.
story my dad told me. He had one of the first Lambrettas in South London.
Condensation rails in the windows, top and bottom, which traps any condensation into the channel where the photographs are, and then it comes out through the holes, so no water goes inside the van. And it's the same on the top windows, 2 holes here, and the same on the front. We've got holes in there, so there's no condensation goes into the van at all. everything comes out. The gas locker is here, and the gas bottles are accessed from inside the caravan, which is very useful when they run out in the middle of the night and it's pouring with rain, because you don't get wet when you change it. I like that a lot. I think that's a great idea. No, I'd be delighted. You put it on YouTube, and you know it helps the cause for the old caravans. Grand.
And here we have the Wake 13 caravan that my dad kitted out, now fully refurbished by Nick on a site in Coton, en route for the Malpass show with his classic Rover car.